Hey guys, I am Game Advisor and welcome back to another Icarus video. Today we're going to be covering our top 10 tips for new and beginning players. Now there are some tips in here that are not very intuitive, so whether you're new or experienced, I think you'll probably find at least something in here to help you out. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. First on our list today is that we recommend you level up to level 10 before completing the second mission. It's not very hard to level up in this game, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second, but the reason this is important is because the mission difficulty starts to scale quite a bit. I also encourage you not to go to any of the medium or hard difficulty missions immediately after the second mission, which is when you'll get some options, and that is because when you do those missions, they're very difficult when you don't have the gear to handle them. Of course, if you're rolling with a squad of 8 players, that won't be an issue for you, but if you're like most people and playing solo or with only 1 or 2 friends, you're probably not going to be able to take on some of those medium or hard missions when you're first getting past the first 2 starting ones. So once again, I highly recommend you start out with the easy missions after the first 2 and get to level 10 before completing the second mission. Now, second on the list is that in order to level up quickly, you're going to want to farm animals. What we mean by this is go ahead and go out there and start hunting them. Every time you kill an animal, you're going to get a large amount of XP. We've noticed deers are on the lower side and rabbits and such, but if you're going after the predators like bears, you're going after buffaloes, you're going after wolves, you're going after all those kinds of things, you're going to start to get a lot more XP. It is also based on the animal's level, so the higher level the animals, the more XP you're going to get. Just to give you an example, the average wolf got me somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 XP per kill. Now, third on our list is going to help you out with farming XP, which is the fact that sneak damage is a thing in this game. A lot of people don't realize this, but if you crouch, then shoot your bow, and the enemy has not detected you, you're going to get a 2.5 times multiplier to your damage. This can be a one-shot on a lot of the animals early on in the game. So I highly recommend, if at all possible, you sneak when trying to kill something. If you can do it with a knife, that's great, but sometimes it's hard to sneak up on things with a knife, so usually you're going to be doing this with a bow. You also get a sick animation for one-shots, so that's another plus. After that is that iron and copper, as well as many of the other metals in the game, are only going to be found in caves. Now, there could be places where they might spawn outside, so the map seems to be a little bit glitchy and not very consistent, but for the vast majority of ore, you're going to want to look in caves. Caves are pretty easy to find, however, they can have some tricks to them, which leads me to our number 5 tip, which is the fact that stone walls can be in front of caves. You see, when you're looking for caves, you're going to want to go along a cliffside or an edge of a little hill and look for this weird looking flat stone. Usually you'll be able to walk up to it, see a red pickaxe symbol, and then go ahead and smack it and start breaking into the cave. Some caves are open, so this isn't an issue for you, but overall there does seem to be a fair majority of them, and it does seem to depend on the mission as to how many caves are actually walled up versus the ones that are just open and ready for you to go into. Now, while you're in those caves, you may find it difficult to see, which is why our number 6 tip is that you want to drop your torch for light. However, before you start doing this, do be aware if you walk over your torch, it will light you on fire, so you have to be careful with that. It can also light buildings on fire. It can also light trees on fire and bushes, so go out of your way to make sure to drop it in a safe place. This is mainly intended for when you're fighting something you need to quickly get light, or if you're in a cave trying to mine where there's nothing you can set on fire, excluding yourself. Do not drop it in your base because if it's made of wood, it is going to light up. 7th on the list is that fire whackers will help to put out fires a lot better than you think they will. Now, again, there is better things like fire extinguishers later in the game, but since most of you are going to be early on, I highly recommend you research the fire whacker at least by level 5 so that you can go ahead and craft that thing and be prepared for when lightning strikes your house or a rabbit runs through a fire and then runs into your house while it's on fire and lights your whole house on fire, or you step on your campfire and your house lights on fire. In other words, a lot of times your house is going to light on fire very, very easily. And if you don't have a way to put that out very fast, you are going to regret it. That's why I recommend that everybody keeps a fire whacker on them at all times. In my group, we follow that rule as well. Everybody has a fire whacker 24/7 as soon as we get the chance to start getting them once we've built our building. Now our 8th tip is a way to actually prevent the fire from starting in the first place, and that is to go ahead and get lightning rods. That is, of course, if you don't want your house to catch on fire. I don't know why you would, but that is a thing. So if you get a lightning rod, I believe it costs 10 copper bars. This is a tier 2 tech, so you're going to be needing to be around level 10 to 15 to get this, and then once you have it, you'll be able to craft it and put it on top of your house or nearby, and it should direct most of the lightning strikes to it. On some of the later missions, there seems to be a lot more lightning strikes as there gets worse and worse weather conditions, so they're going to become more and more important. Again, if you're building out of stone or concrete or something, this doesn't really apply because your house shouldn't be able to catch on fire. However, I personally have not built this house out of stone or concrete yet, so don't quote me on that one. I don't see why it would, but you never know with games like this. 9th on our list is the fact that you can actually sleep through the night when you're using a bedroll or just any other bed that you can craft. Bedrolls are great because if everybody goes to sleep, it works just like Minecraft does, where if everybody's asleep at the same time between this time and this time, everybody will sleep and then it will automatically become 7 a.m. and everybody will wake up to a nice bright and sunny day. I do believe wolves spawn more at night. It can be hard to tell, but nighttime is never good as you can't see anyway, so why not just sleep through it? You also get a well-rested buff, which is going to give you some extra little bonuses just to put some icing on the cake. Now, coming in at number 10, which is our final tip, is that you should be eating cooked meat in order to heal yourself. Yes, it does provide a health regen and max HP buff, but more importantly, it actually gives you instantly 20 HP. In order to see how much HP an item gives you, all you need to do is mouse over it and you'll be able to see that. You can also cook fish, which will give you instant HP. I believe that's plus 30. There's a lot of different options, but the idea here is if you're in combat or you need to quickly heal before something else starts attacking you, you can start spamming it in order to get your HP up very, very quickly. Again, this does consume a ton of meat to do it, and there is better methods, but it is an option for you early on when you don't really have any of the other healing items within the game. Well guys, I hope you found this informative. I'm Game Advisor. If you think there's anything we missed out on that other people need to know about, please comment it down below. We want to help out all the new players get into this game because it is so far a very enjoyable game to me, and I am really looking forward to see what the devs do with it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Game Advisor, and I'll see you next time.